Winter is coming.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome back, my friends, to Winter is Coming.
We are continuing our look at Frostbite.
And to start off, we're gonna briefly look at a Frostbite toy that isn't actually Frostbite.
You see, this is Blizzard version 2, from the 1997 Toys R Us exclusive collector's line. Yeah, they took Frostbite version 3 and just repainted him and called him Blizzard. I have no idea why he couldn't just be Frostbite, especially since, Blizzard didn't have a beard. I thought I'd mention this figure just in case anybody was wondering about it.
Moving on, let's look at the actual first new Frostbite toy in the modern era.
Meet Frostbite version 4. This figure was released in 2002 with all original body parts. And it's the first figure where I can't complain about his beard, because he doesn't have one. So that's 3 times he's changed his facial features now.
What are you hiding? Did you rob a bank or something?
Of course, the whole facial hair thing can't distract from the elephant in the room, the articulation or lack thereof. This figure does not have an O-ring, so he can't move his torso from side to side, and the upper legs only move up and down. Yeah, with the 2002 G.I.Joe vs. Cobra toy relaunch, they changed the body construction because it was cheaper that way. In typical Hasbro style.
This did not go over well with collectors.
So the O-ring construction came back pretty quickly. Another quirk of the Joe vs. Cobra line was that all figures were sold in 2 packs, usually one Joe with one Cobra. In Frostbite's case, he came with a Neo Viper. That seems like a strange choice at first, why not put him against a Snow Serpent? But Neo Vipers were genetically engineered to handle all types of extreme cold weather, so it makes some sense. And a Snow Serpent was later sold with Blowtorch. Sorta a fire versus ice thing.
Huh, somebody should write a song about that.
Anyway, I haven't much talked about the actual figure itself. Ignoring the articulation, it's mostly fine. He's got a fur pattern on his collar, harkening back to the original, but the hat doesn't have that. So it's less detailed than a figure that's 17 years older. Oh, and parts of the figure can still suffer from yellowing, also harkening back to the original.
Glad they kept that tradition alive!
His accessories were some reused guns I won't mention, and a backpack that holds skis and the ski poles. These originally came with Snow Job in 1983. Damn, good job holding onto those molds for 19 years. Overall, it's a decent figure, but doesn't really remind me of Frostbite. He could be a generic snowtrooper. That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, because if you wanted to army build a Neo Viper at the time, you'd end up with the same amount of Frostbites. Frostbite got 2 more figures in 2002, recolors of this one, but I don't have those, so I can't really talk about them.
The next figure I can talk about is from 2003 and has no original body parts. Wanna know why?
Because it's a frickin' Snow Job figure. This was a Toys R Us exclusive toy that came with a Snowcat. Being Snow Job means he's got a beard again too. And I know that in my Snow Job review I mentioned he looked a bit like MacReady from The Thing, but with the colored jacket here, Frostbite looks even more like him. It's a nice looking color scheme, it's a nice looking figure.
It just isn't Frostbite, it's frickin' Snow Job!
By the way, they pulled this crap again in 2005 when Frostbite was part of the Winter Operations Valor vs. Venom 5-pack. I don't have that figure, so I can't really comment, except to say the blue looks worse than the green here. Up next, we jump to 2005 for version 9. There were 3 Frostbites that used this mold, and since this is the one I have, this is the one we'll talk about. He lost his damn beard again.
Dear Lord, this again?
What I like about this figure are the subtle homages to the original ones. He's got a fur pattern on his collar, and the sweater beneath the vest reminds you of the Tiger Force one. What is a little weird is how wide his torso is. Dude must have hit the gym pretty hard to get buff like that. The overall look though, it's a little 90s. I don't mean he looks like a 90s G.I. Joe figure, he reminds me of the actual 90s. And I remind you, this figure is from 2005.
Hang on, let me show you the main accessory he came with, and that'll make it more clear.
He had a snowboard. Not just any snowboard, but a frickin' rocket-powered snowboard. That is almost peak 90s extreme sports scene. Could anything make this more 90s?
Glad you asked, and the answer is yes.
He also came with a paintball gun. There's no earthly reason a G.I. Joe figure should come with a frickin' paintball gun, yet here we are. This figure isn't Frostbite. He isn't even Snow Job.
I dubbed this figure G.I. Joe Snow Bro.
He'll make sick moves on the slopes before hanging with his fellow bros in the lodge drinking après-ski. This is the guy some plucky kid has to race against to save the youth center in a 90s movie. All kidding aside, it's a nice looking figure, but once again, it isn't Frostbite to me. Subtle references notwithstanding.
So, to recap up until this point.
Frostbite has had 3 different beard colors, 2 clean-shaven chins, and he's been frickin' Snow Job. Dude is a walking identity crisis.
There's one more figure that I have that we can look at. It's from the Rise of Cobra line. Can't wait to find out what he looks like now.
He could look like frickin' Alan Moore at this point and I wouldn't be surprised.
Well played, Frostbite. Well played.
Yeah, I think he got tired of me bitching about his face, so he's just hiding it now. So, meet Masked Frostbite, I guess. This figure was released in 2009 with no original body parts. His body is from a Snake Eyes figure, while his head, well, no prize is guessing that it's from a Beachhead figure.
It's fine, but it's pretty damn generic.
I do really like the look of the white winter jacket over the green pants.
There's one really weird thing though.
If you check under his coat, you'll note the plastic of his crotch and butt is white too, even though that's supposed to be a part of his pants. It makes him look like he's wearing panties over his trousers.
Hey, I'm not here to judge, dude.
But seriously, nobody noticed how weird this would look in quality control? And those were the modern toys of Frostbite I own. And none of them really looked like the original character. Then again, this guy changed looks so often you could tell me a barbecue figure was the next Frostbite and I'd believe you. To be fair, in 2015 the Collectors Club did release a beautiful modern version that was very faithful, as well as a Tiger Force one, but I don't have those because look at them prices, so I can't review them.
With that, let's take a look at the modern file cards to see if they changed or added anything.
Well, the Joe vs. Cobra one adds back in that he used to work on pipelines, and they also explain why he's in a 2-pack with a Neo Viper. Turns out they took over a spot of unspoiled tundra and put a bioweapons facility there.
So he's got a bit of an eco-warrior thing going there.
What's weird is they used the exact same text for the Spy Troops Toys R Us version, even though he wasn't packaged with a Neo Viper anymore, but got his own vehicle again. The Snowbro file card, yes, I'm gonna make that a thing if it kills me, is the most different out of all of them. It finally talks about what kind of challenges he wanted to face. It's thriving in a hostile environment, and he's really good at it. He can find his way through a snowstorm without a GPS, and icy winds make him feel more alive.
He also has a motto.
Give me black coffee, scalding hot, thick enough to stand a spoon in, then get out of my way. There's no mention of his rocket-powered snowboard, or why he needs a freaking paintball gun, but you definitely get the sense of an adrenaline junkie that justifies my Snowbro nickname for him.
The Rise of Cobra one is the driest and shortest of them all.
Though it does mention how he's a great mechanic again. Also, for some reason, this is the only file card where his rank is classified. His other cards have him as an E4 or an E5. This is strange, considering having a classified rank is usually reserved for Snake Eyes. Considering his body is that of a Snake Eyes figure, maybe he stole his clothes and changed his ID card or something. And that was Frostbite.
The man with 1,000 faces!
Seriously, I haven't encountered a character on this show that has such a wide variety of looks. This one guy could have been half a dozen different Joes. And at one point he was one. Overall, there's some nice figures there, but the first one remains the best. Next time, we'll finish this journey as we take a look at the vehicles these figures came with. And that will be the last episode of the year, as I'm taking the time between Christmas and New Year's off. I might make a brief looking back and forwards video for New Year's Eve, but no promises.
Well, I'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
Frosty the snowman was a jolly happy soul.